When a highly skilled team suddenly stops functioning, the root cause is rarely a drop in talent. Most organizational friction, the missed deadlines, the splintering factions, the sudden drop in momentum, stems from missing data. Economists call this information asymmetry, a condition where one party holds vital knowledge that another lacks. In a professional setting, this imbalance is toxic. A team member might harbor a hidden frustration about a project's direction, or a manager might have a behavioral blind spot that alienates their direct reports. Because these variables are invisible, they cannot be managed, and they quietly stall team performance. Attempting to resolve these gaps through intuition alone often fails, because, by definition, an individual cannot see their own blind spots. Correcting a team's trajectory requires a structured map of what information is shared and what remains concealed. In 1955, American psychologists Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham developed exactly that framework at the University of California. By combining their first names, they called it the Johari Window. The model was born out of the rigorous study of group dynamics and the clinical observation of how human beings communicate, or fail to communicate, under pressure. Luft and Ingham built their model on two intersecting axes. The horizontal axis maps information based on whether it is known or unknown to others. Then they added an intersecting vertical axis, mapping information known or unknown to the self. By crossing these parameters, they created a 2x2 heuristic map, capable of categorizing the awareness of every trait, skill, and emotion within a team. This diagram shows the Johari Window's 4 panes. The top left open area contains behaviors known to both the individual and the group, where frictionless communication occurs. The top right is the blind spot, holding information clearly visible to others, but completely unknown to the self. The blind spot might hide a manager's aggressive micromanaging. The bottom left quadrant is the hidden area, representing private information deliberately concealed from the group. Finally, the bottom right unknown area contains subconscious feelings and latent talents hidden from both the individual and everyone else. Dysfunctional teams operate with massive blind and hidden areas, leaving very little room for actual communication. High-performance teams, by contrast, actively work to maximize their open area. The Johari Window's internal crosshairs are mechanical boundaries moved by behavior. The open area expands vertically by reducing the hidden area through self-disclosure, revealing private thoughts. It expands horizontally into the blind spot through seeking feedback, asking others what they observe about you. Here, communication is a mechanical process. High-performing teams expand their open area by intentionally pulling these two behavioral levers, disclosure and feedback. Because these boundary shifts are driven by observable actions, they can be accurately quantified, not guessed. This Johari scoring sheet measures behaviors. A seeking feedback score is plotted on the top axis, and self-disclosure down the left. Intersecting these coordinates dictates the matrix's proportions. High feedback paired with low disclosure yields an open area that is wide but shallow. Plotting these coordinates transforms the Johari window from a psychological concept into a geometric representation of an individual's communicative footprint. Because the matrix measures the flow of information rather than the content of the information itself, it functions as a universal diagnostic tool across entirely different disciplines. In clinical nursing, practitioners use the framework to expand the open area with their patients, building critical trust to uncover hidden symptoms or anxieties that could impact treatment. In corporate boardrooms, executive coaches apply the exact same model to identify dangerous leadership blind spots before they derail a company's strategy. The model can even be inverted. This variation is known as the Nohari Window, a map used specifically to isolate personality flaws rather than strengths. The Nohari Window replaces positive attributes with a fixed list of negative antonyms, words like incompetent, intolerant, or aloof. By asking colleagues to select from this negative list, individuals can track their unrecognized weaknesses. The matrix is entirely agnostic to the type of data it holds. Its singular purpose is mapping human awareness of that data. However, there is a primary danger in utilizing the Johari framework: the false assumption that maximum disclosure is always a positive action. The model operates under a strict boundary condition. The rate of personal disclosure must always match the maturity and psychological safety of the group. Sharing highly sensitive private information, like a detailed account of a past professional failure, in an environment that lacks established trust, creates a backfire effect. Inappropriate oversharing does not build a bond. Instead, it negatively skews the group's perception of an individual's competence, causing the group dynamic to fracture. Successful implementation requires a leader or facilitator to carefully throttle the depth of disclosure, ensuring it matches the actual level of trust in the room. The Johari window is a foundational diagnostic tool. It translates abstract concepts like vulnerability, perception, and observation into a functional, two-dimensional map. Within this model, trust is the functional output of a system. It is achieved when a team systematically eliminates information asymmetry to maximize the open area.